Thank you for joining us today on another episode of the Good Side Podcast. Please join us every week as we talk about current events, relationship issues, and just about everything that concerns our life. We aim to highlight the positivity in the world, the goodness of God, and of course, the goodness in people. Whether it's a story, a person, or a situation, there's always some good to be found.
Through the light we shine on those things, our hope is to inspire a more purposeful way of living, impact the lives of others who hears and receives our message positively, and to create a community of gratitude with purpose.
Okay, so today's topic for today is...
very interesting.
Yes.
We just came up with this topic today, right?
Yes.
So it's very good.
So trust the process.
Trust the process, yes. So, and it's actually very, very timely because... and we would like to share with you our journey for this for this topic because like with me, I've been trying to prepare in advance,
yes,
which is something that I don't really practice.
Yes,
like a lot of the things that I have to do on a daily basis, I get it done almost like instantly. Once it's given, the task is given to me, I do it right away. But because I wanted this podcast to be really good, yes, and we want to be able to deliver a really good message for you guys. And so I wanted to prepare, but God had other plans. So he's like, nope, you're not going to be, nope, you don't get to control this one.
Yes. Yes.
You don't get to decide. You don't get to lay it out. This will be all on me. And I think what I have learned,
yes,
okay, and I'm sharing my learning, what I have learned from this journey, this has only been our second episode, is that I'm slowly learning to let go.
Yeah.
You know what they say, let go and let God?
Yes.
Man, until you actually go through it and live it, you don't really know what that means. You know, and to me, and the meaning is different for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sure, my brother, different for you and different for me, but like me, letting go of the control of like what to talk about, what to present, and really just take the leading from the Holy Spirit. I think that's really is what the lesson that God is teaching us here.
That's good.
So, and up until about 2 hours ago is when when the Spirit gave us the revelation. Okay, this is what you're going to talk about. Okay, this is going to be. So trust the process.
Yes.
You want to go through you want to give the
scriptures
rundown on the trust the process? Why are we saying trust the process?
Okay. So we know that God has the ultimate plan. God has a better plan than, and as we were talking probably the other day about the manual.
Right.
A lot of people, they say that there's no manual. Well, some people say that there's no manual to life, but we do have a manual to life. We need to read it. There's a book that's been given to us, which is the Bible, that can lead us throughout our lives and help us orchestrate every section of our life. So as a created product or a manufactured product, it's always best to go to the manual, to the instructions on how to live according to the way we're supposed to live.
We're supposed to live, right?
And then life will be better. And I started looking at that, and so I wanted to go ahead and try to read the scripture. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. Hebrews 11:1. What that means to me is we know what the end goal is. We know what the end goal is. So, but a lot of the times we don't know how we're going to get there.
Right.
So, we have the faith for now to know that we're going to get there. We just don't know how.
Right.
It's the evidence of things that unseen. We don't see how we're going to get there, but we know eventually we're going to get there. So that's how you begin to trust the process and just go through the navigate through whatever obstacles are put in your place, and just trust God to move things around, because He can orchestrate our path. So that's one of the best things that I could say about trusting the process and not worrying and just letting go and let God. And so I know I would love to be as organized as possible.
Right.
But I also have this thing to where for me it's easy to let go.
Right.
Because I know that every time I put my hands on something and try to do it my way, it ends up either not happening or not happening the way I want it to happen. So that's why I let go and I let God orchestrate everything, because He knows best how it should be and how it should go. So,
but you know what though, I remember. So I think we should say that all of these this conversation that we're having, everyone that's listening right now, is that we're trying to give some really good tips on how to successfully execute what you're called to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like we were talking about this today while we were preparing and going through this, and we're saying like, what are you called to do? Not everybody is called to do, whether you're called to have a business, you're called to be a manager, you're called to be a mom, or a dad. Those are all callings that God has already planned in your life. And even though He knows the beginning and the end, He's already planned it out for us. We still need to make the effort, and we still need to put work into it to be able to successfully execute what you're called to do. So one of the things is that you and I share something in common because we're both business owners, right? So we're both entrepreneurs. So you and I both know that being a small business owner, it's like you're the front desk and you're the delivery person, right?
You're the everything.
You're the everything. So it's very, very, very easy for us to fall into micromanaging everything, right? So it's like like with me, when I wanted something done, and I want it done a certain way, instead of me taking the time and describing it to, for example, like a graphic designer and say, I want it to look this way and I want it to like that. And instead of doing that, I'll just try to do it myself. And before you know it, as a whole day has passed by and I'm still working on this one thing where I could have done something else, and trust that the person who is sent to help me will do his part.
Yeah,
right?
And that's also because you're a gifted artist. So, especially when you have a gift for some of the art, you want it to look a certain way, and if it doesn't look that way, then you're like, no, that's not what I envisioned.
Right.
You know.
But you will have the right people though that will get it.
Yeah.
Like imagine when we first started this and we're trying to design our logo.
Yes.
And I was describing to you, I want a halo. Remember the halo? And then you come up with like, oh, you mean on this side?
Yeah.
And then you came up with our logo with the halo on the letter I. Yes. And then you're like, yes, that's the one. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So again, how to successfully execute what you're called to do. So the first one I believe is that above all, because our calling comes from God.
Yes.
So who is best to guide us but the Lord, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first step. You ask the Lord,
ask God
for guidance, right? And how do you ask God for guidance?
In prayer. In prayer, and then you, it depends on a lot of the times what level you're at in your life. So if you ask God for guidance, he can bring it to you in several different ways. Some people can actually hear. Some people can hear God audibly speak. Some people will open up the book and the page will be right there. There's God speaks to you in so many different ways. Some people will be driving down the street and see a bumper sticker,
oh my gosh, sometimes I do get that.
Yeah.
I do get that.
Yeah, so God communicates with us in so many different ways. Sometimes it'll be a person that comes, another person who comes in and speaks something into you, and that's confirmation that God was listening, because that happens to a lot of people as well. So there's many ways that you can get that message.
That kind of guidance, And doesn't it feel like I mean, I feel it. Like when I ask for guidance and the answer comes, you feel it in your stomach.
Yes.
Somehow
Yes,
it's
you
like,
feel it.
yeah, right, in your heart, in your stomach. Somehow that makes sense. You know, and that it's like, okay, that's it. And then like a light bulb turns on. So, but if you don't ask for guidance, if you don't reach out to the Lord, how else are you gonna know how to start it, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of us are called for big jobs, like big responsibilities, you know, like I was saying.
Yes.
How do you know if you're called to be the president of the United States, you know? Like, or be an influencer, you know, like right now that's the in thing, you know, like how are you going to know that if you don't, you know, how are you going to know how to successfully execute that if you don't ask for the one that called you to do it, right?
Yes.
So again, ask for guidance, right? And then second, so once you get that guidance from the Lord, then it's time to set goals.
Yes.
Right? Set goals. How are you going to get this assignment get done? So you set your goals. So if you are like, for example, for you and I, we're, you know, business owners.
Yeah.
So if we're about to open a business, what's our goal, right? So then, and it doesn't have to be very elaborate. It could be as simple as get my business license.
Yes.
Get my tax ID.
Yes.
Open a bank account.
Open up a bank
you know,
account.
you know, things like that, you know. So, but because when you do that, then you have some sort of like, what is it? A roadmap.
Yeah.
You have a roadmap to where you need to go, and that roadmap doesn't have to be permanent. You can constantly adjust and change, make a left, make a right, you know, like that. So, and then once you have your goal set, that's when you, what did we say? Delegate.
Delegate.
Yep.
Yes, you delegate. And,
You delegate.
or do the best you can to delegate.
Yeah, to delegate, right?
Because you know we still have we're still having that issue as far as delegation, because like we were talking about earlier, it's difficult to delegate because you know you're so used to doing everything yourself, and you want somebody who will come in and actually take ownership of their position, and that's that not everybody's like that, you know. So I know when I worked, almost every job that I worked, I would take ownership of the position. Like, that position is mine, so I fulfill the position and take care of everything that needed to be done without help, without somebody looking over my shoulder to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's one of the best things that I could say. You know, we have a problem delegating because there's not a lot of people like that. They're you know, some people they get a job just to get paid, and they don't really fulfill their position to the best of their ability. They would rather just, you know, they're just there to get paid.
Right.
And so today's society, a lot of the times, we're having a huge struggle with people that are only there just to get paid and don't really have a passion for being the best or being great at what they want or great at what they do.
And like I was telling you a while ago, we have do you remember we have a common friend?
Yes.
His name is Max.
Yes.
So, and I hope one day he'll get to listen to this, because I don't think, and these are one of the things, like when me and him, because we know each other for so many years, right? And I do pay attention.
Yes.
When we do talk, and we, you know, when we just talk about things and what we're doing and stuff. And I'm very proud of this person. He has really built his business up from ground up. Like, he's the true example of an entrepreneur, like a successful one.
Entrepreneur, yes.
And so one of the things that he told me that I never forget, and I would like to apply to this growing business that we have, is that he said, you know, when I first started my business, I was doing everything myself because I wanted all the money to myself, and because I needed the money. I have like kids to support and all that stuff. But then he realized at the end of the day, he was so exhausted, and he's not moving as fast as he was expecting. And then he just came to realize, you know what, I do need help. I need someone and I need to delegate the task that needs to get done in the office so I can go out and get more business.
Yes.
So what he did was he hired a person, and at the beginning, all he was making for that business all goes to the salary of this person.
Yes.
And it didn't matter to him because he had a longer he had a long-term goal.
Yes.
And it kind of motivated me to do more effort and to get this business up and running even more, because I know if I make more money, then I'll be able to pay this person.
Yes.
And then earn a profit.
Yes.
So that's how it started. And he sacrificed for so many months. He said so many months I wasn't bringing any money home.
Yeah.
Because all the money was going to this person. But in just a matter of time, before he knew it, it's like the business grew. All of a sudden he's hiring another person.
Yeah.
And then he's opening another location. And so just because, and I think that was an act. That was a leap of faith.
It was a leap of faith.
It was a leap of faith, because he had to have faith for it to be able to believe that he'll overcome that level of, that the startup, that he'll overcome it, and that he'll get to where he needed to go.
Yeah. I can say all of the best things start with faith. All of the best things start with faith, because a lot of people they tend to want to focus on trying to do it the safest way, so they get stuck in just working for a living and never really investing, or never taking that leap of faith to go out, and because it is a struggle. It sometimes you don't have any money to do anything with, but you're still building, and you're still talking to customers, and you're still getting income in, but income going right back out because you have a lot of the bills to pay. But it's a leap of faith that you have to take in order to flourish, because a lot of these the jobs are not going to give you the amount of money that you can to really flourish. So it's good to start with a job, because you have to get certain things like licensing and all of that type of stuff. You need money for that. But when it comes to when it comes to venturing out on your own and actually creating a business, it's so hard to do it when you have to go to work every day.
Right. Absolutely.
It's so hard. It's so hard to do it when you have to go to work every day. So eventually you have to take that leap. You have to okay, listen, I'm focused on this business, and you have to leap without a net. You have to take that leap without a net. And then it's like, if you take that leap, it's not like you're gonna fall and hit the ground. That's when God carries you. God will carry you through certain situations. So you have to take that leap without that net, and trust. Really trust. Put yourself in God's hands. Say, Lord, this belongs to you. If it's gonna make it, it's gonna make it. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail. No matter what. But this is for you. And then take that leap of faith and go after it. So
yeah. And I think it's like, those the word regret.
Yes.
Right? And as we age, as we go through life, there are some things that you say, oh, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
I wish I tried. I wish, I think it's better to take the risk sometimes and just try it and do it.
Just do it.
If you fail, then at least you can look back and you can tell, yeah, I tried it. No, it wasn't for me. It's not gonna work. Like if you dream to be for example, like you want to be a singer. So if you don't try to sing, how are you gonna know that you're a bad singer or a good singer?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I think it's better to live. I'm just saying for you, right?
Yeah,
you're starting your singing career.
Yeah, I'm starting my singing career right now.
So it's better to live knowing that you've tried it than having to live and not try it.
Yeah, that's giving me so much inspiration because now I'm getting ready to start playing the drums, and I don't play the drums, but
Wow.
I'm getting ready to start playing the drums and everything. So
That's great.
I'm just taking a whole bunch of leaps of faith because for me, just staying focused, it's easy. A lot of things are easy to learn. So I think I played drums in like high school, but I've never professionally played the drums, but they have a drum set at my church that's just sitting there. Nobody's touching them.
Nobody's touching
the drums. We don't have a drummer, so I'm like, let me come in early on Wednesday and I'll just start practicing, start playing the drums.
Right. Then there's the good thing nowadays, we're so advanced in technology.
Yes.
There's a YouTube there's a YouTube video for everything. So lately I have been really into acoustic guitars and like those songs, and so I just been listening to it, right? So once in a while I'll have a commercial, and it's about this app where it just teaches you how to like strum, and how to read the notes and everything. So I'm like, man, maybe I could do that. I was just thinking, because I always think about, because my son is 5 and he's just he is just full of life and just full of imagination, and he just wants to try everything. Like right now I have him on taekwondo, right?
Nice.
So we're going twice a week, but I can see that he's trying it, but I don't see that he's into it. So I'm like, okay, maybe time to find another one. Because before that we did soccer, like that. But one thing I have been seeing, watching him, is he likes to dance. He likes to sing. So I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I can sign him up with like a dance class or something like that. But the other night, because he likes to watch these kids on the YouTube, like YouTube channel kids, and he goes, "Mommy, what do you think if I have a show?" I'm like, a show? What kind of show? Like Ryan, like the kids.
So much DNA. That's so much of your DNA.
Right. He came up with the title already. You know what the title is?
What is it?
Adventures with Jacob. I'm like, whoa, what kind of adventure are we going to go on? I don't know, Mommy, but I think it's going to be fun.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, let Mommy make some money, and then we'll pray, and then we'll ask God to guide us. Like, okay, what is this show going to be? But because he's my one and only, and I just want to give him everything. Even though he's 5, he probably doesn't understand what a show would entail and how much hard work you have to put into it. But in his head, it's like, wow, Mom, this is going to be a great project.
Yeah, I was watching a video the other day. I shared it with you, but it was really deep, and it started off so powerful. It was Dr. Miles Monroe. I listened to Dr. Miles Monroe, but he said the most valuable treasures in the world right now is in the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because if you're in the graveyard is people who had dreams and people who had visions and people who had a lot of the things that they wanted to do in life that they never really accomplished. So he said if you were to gather up like the minds and the visions and the dreams and the hopes that people had that never fulfilled them, that would be the most valuable thing on the planet.
Oh my gosh, that's deep. That's very deep. Yes,
very deep. So
absolutely.
I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But it's true, because everybody had these hopes and these dreams and these visions and these goals and never fulfilled them, and never even tried. A lot of people never even tried.
Yeah, never tried.
And so, and it's in the grave with them.
It's just like in relationships, right? Like love, like getting into relationships. Like last night I was talking to my cousin, and she might listen to this one of these days, but I'm gonna say, so we were talking about, so she's single, right? She's older than I am, but she's single, and so she likes this guy at work, But they've known each other. She's been working at that place for so long, and they've been around each other for so many years,
Yes.
right? And then this guy would, you know, how you know there's something there. You know,
Yes.
like he likes her or something, but he doesn't make a move. You know,
Yes.
like he'll flirt and do all this stuff. So then she goes, you know, I just don't know if I should just openly just ask. And I said, you know, she goes, because it's not the culture, you know, like women don't ask. I said, I know that, you know, you don't, but when you get to our age,
And in today's society,
yes. Right? But you know, you only do it to an extent. You don't want to sound like, you don't want to approach it like you're desperate.
Yes.
You know, like yeah, date me. You know, it's not that. It's like I told her, like with our age, it's like, okay, like whatever. And like, what do you have to lose? You came to this point, like you've known this guy for so long, and he's giving you mixed signals. I told her, if I was you, I would come up to him and say, okay, so, you know, like, because he was talking about he hasn't been at this place and he really wanted to go, and my cousin has already been there, so she went there already. So I said, why didn't you ask him to see if he wants you to take him?
Yes.
And then she goes, well, I don't know if I should, you know, like that. I said,
that
okay.
was a hint.
Right.
That was a hint for you.
Exactly. So then I tell her like this. I said, okay, next time it brings it up, you say, okay, do you want me to take you? I've been there. It's really beautiful, whatever, like that, right? And he goes, what if he says no? I said, well, if he says no, that's your sign. That's your opportunity to bring it up and say, okay, let's sit down here right now. Tell me really, because you're giving me mixed signals. Do you really like me or not?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
But the thing is, I doubt if he says no, because he's sending hints. He's like, oh, I would love to go there.
No.
Yeah, you've been there before?
Yeah, but I'm talking, I promise I have a point here. But the thing is that the reason why I'm talking about that is I think that's like the fear, you know, like the lack of faith. Like I think this
false evidence appearing real.
So whether he probably was brokenhearted before or disappointed or whatever happened in the past, it's just that he's afraid to love again, and he's afraid to commit, and he's afraid to get into a relationship. But really, if there shouldn't be any more fear, because love is the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest feeling. Love love solves everything, I feel. That's you know, and to be able to stop yourself from giving love and receiving love, you're really missing out. Don't you think?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
and I was in that. I was in that mindset just recently, and just wanting to not give anybody any time of day because, you know, of the situation that I just went through with divorce and all of that type of stuff. So,
man, that's a topic right there.
Yeah. But,
right.
But I met somebody who I'm very interested in, and I don't know, you know, I feel the same way. I'm not exactly sure about the situation if she's interested in me like that, but this person is extremely amazing. Like everything that I see. Everything that a man would want in this person.
Wow.
You know.
See, I told you that. See, so again, that's the leap of faith, right?
Yes.
So just recap, like this conversation has been really good. We can go on and on and on about this, especially for talking about love.
Yes.
Like me, I'm like love advocate right here. So we're talking about trust the process, right? How to successfully execute what you're called to do. And we've touched on the really good points here about asking for guidance and setting up your goals and learning to delegate, delegate and trusting God, to like letting go and let God.
Yes.
Right? And so we leave you with this. Okay, so no matter what God has called you to do, okay, like the Bible said, do everything as if you're doing it for the Lord.
Yes.
Right? which verse was that?
Colossians 3:23.
3:23. Would you read it for me, brother?
Yes. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord, not unto man.
Not unto man. So whatever you feel like you're called to do it with all your heart
yes.
and all your might. And as if you're doing it for the Lord, as if the Lord is your boss. And watch how he moves in your life.
Yes.
And watch how he orchestrates everything into place. And then when you get to that point where you've accomplished what you needed to do, then you can stand back and look back like, wow, Lord, this is great.
And that goes into having a kingdom mindset already. You know, the king is it's a commonwealth. So the king runs the kingdom, and his spirit comes down into us to guide us,
right.
so that we can do the things that the king wants us to do, and make the land prosperous and keep the land keep dominion over the land. I know I keep saying dominion, but keep dominion.
I promise
over the land
we'll have an episode just for that.
Just for dominion over the earth.
Yes,
and the plant and the animal kingdom.
Yes,
but not man.
Not man. Absolutely. Yeah. So it has been a great experience sharing this podcast with you. We hope we have inspired you and made your day better. Yes. We will have a new episode every week. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Just type The Good Side Wins.
Yes. And an act of goodwill is always rewarded. And a good gesture is always appreciated.
And this is your host,
yes,
LJ.
And this is MC.
Wishing that you have a great week ahead, and God bless you. Join us again soon on The Good Side.